Hello, hello, hello. What's up again, my fellow chefs, cooks, home cooks, store cooks, bakers, whatever you are, doesn't matter. Welcome to another show. Today what I'm going to prepare for you is pan-seared chicken breast, which I already have nicely prepared for you. Well, not totally prepared. We're going to do that with a tarragon mustard cream sauce. We're going to do a baby Yukon and baby red potato, which I'm actually going to have thyme in it, fresh thyme, some garlic, a little bit of butter. We're also going to do some honey glazed carrots. You gotta have your vegetables. Everybody know how important it is to have your vegetables. I always talk about carrots are really good for the eyes, help with your vision and all that good stuff. We'll see how true that actually really is. So without further delay, we're gonna get started. So the first thing I want to do is pan sear my chicken breast. So I'm gonna turn the flame up, medium to high heat. Let that start going for you. And that's gonna be the first thing I want to get going. But actually, how about we do a little bit of some of everything at the same time? I'm gonna turn this on low. I'm turning my back eye on very low. So, your large skillet, of course I'm gonna do my chicken in here. This one here, I'm gonna do my potatoes in there. And my carrots are gonna be done in this one here. Now, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Vitacraft, who have been, very, very, very good with trusting me with their brand name and their cookware. Every single thing you see up here is Vitacraft made. Also, let me give a big shout out to Dalstrong, who again have been trusting me with their brand. Amazing knives. I have not been disappointed at all so far with anything that I've used from them, and I don't think I will be. So, with your heat, again, medium to high. Want to let your pan get hot enough because we're actually going to sear. So we're going to put the chicken breast in there and we're going to get a nice caramelization on the presentation side, which is the side that will be faced up. Whenever you plate anything and they talk about presentation side, that's the side that's going to be faced up towards the customer. That's going to be the first thing they see when they bring that plate to the table. So while that's getting hot, I have my flour here, honey, my butter. This is actually an Irish butter. Very, very good, very creamy. My minced garlic, my whole grain mustard, my extra light olive oil, salt, pepper, and heavy cream. So that's pretty warm. We're going to add maybe about a teaspoon of this extra light olive oil. You just want to get it in the bottom of the pan. A lot of people like to use the black surface, non-stick pans and things like that. I have no issue against that. If that's what you like to use, so be it. But I'm going to educate you real quick. This skillet here, being stainless steel, instantly becomes a non-stick skillet. Once you heat it up, you open the pores in the bottom of the skillet. Once you put that oil in there, that oil sinks into those pores. Now you have a non-stick skillet. So let's get started here. Take your chicken breasts that have been salted on each side. Well, one side anyway, presentation side. Always lay it away from you. You hear that sear? That's what you want to hear. You lay this away from you so that when you put it into the skillet, the grease doesn't pop on you. You get 4, which is good. So now what you want to do, you want to leave that there. Don't touch it. It's searing. You gotta let that caramelization get in there and loosen up that chicken. Once it sears good, it'll release itself. So you can hit the backside with a little bit of kosher salt as it's cooking. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of pepper. Brown black pepper, coarse black pepper. It's really, really good. I like to use the restaurant brown coarse. It's kind of a little bit, it's not like that powdery stuff that you normally use from some of the local stores or anything like that. So we're gonna let that go. Now, what I'm gonna do over here in this other skillet is I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter. In there. I'm going to let that melt down. That's what my potatoes are going to go into. So let's go ahead and toss those in there. Let those get going. With those, same thing. Just a little bit of salt. Not too much. A little bit goes a long way. You always have to remember, watch your sodium intake, and always remember, you're putting salt as a flavor enhancer, not as a seasoning. So once you put it into each component, only use a little, because remember, now you have to eat those things as a whole. You don't want to be taking in a whole lot of sodium, especially for those that may have high blood pressure, things like that. Even those with diabetes know that when it comes down to certain things, they have a natural sugar in them. So like potatoes will probably send you off the chart depending on how much of it you eat. Everything in moderation. Moderation, moderation, moderation. So now we got the potatoes in there. We can actually turn that up a little bit more because we want to kind of let those get a little brown and let all that good stuff get on those as well. So now we'll check our chicken. Almost. If it doesn't come loose from the skillet, don't pull it and yank it out of the skillet. Let it sit there, That just means that it's not quite where you want it to be yet. When it's ready to be released, it'll turn very, very easily. For the meantime, in this back eye over here that I have on super, super low, that's where my carrots are gonna go. My carrots have been washed and cleaned. I always say wash and clean everything. This stuff comes from the dirt. Not only does it come from the dirt, it is then transported on trucks. It goes from trucks to somebody else's hands, from their hands to the person who has to put it out in the shell's hand, and then you never know who else may come through the store and actually touch it. Let's check the chicken again. There we go. See how easy that came off? Got that caramelization on the side. This one, nice and easy. This one, nice and easy. This one, not as easy. But what do? Leave it there. Don't touch it. If it's not ready, it's not ready. Don't worry about it. Now, I'll prepare a plate, because what I want to do is, when I pour out my chicken, I'm going to use this exact same skillet to start my roux in. And for some of you who may ask, what the heck is a roux? A roux is your mix of oil and flour. It is the base to almost every gravy, some great sauces, and everything. Let's check that chicken again. It is now ready to turn with a slight little hiccup in there, but that's okay. I told you, my shows are going to be straight, real to the point where if I screw up something a little bit, guess who's going to know first? You guys. Because you actually get to see it. You might hear me say it, but that's okay. In my earlier rant today, I talked about chefs who may say that they never mess up. And if you ever hear a chef say that, they're lying. Because every chef messes up at some point. That's what makes us better, learning from our mistakes. Okay, so now We're going to let that sit again for maybe another couple minutes and everything, because I want that side to finish cooking through just a little bit. The potatoes are going really, really good right now, so we're going to let them continue on. What I'm going to do is pour to the side here some fresh thyme and just kind of pull it off the stem. We want to save a couple of sprigs just for garnish purposes. I talked about that in my little earlier rant as well, how some people use parsley as a garnish for every freaking thing, and I can't stand it. So, we're going to turn this heat down a little bit. We're going to remove our chicken. We're going to set our chicken to the side. All this goodness. This is just goodness waiting to be used. It's so, you can smell it. Just amazing. So we're going to sit that to the side. We're going to keep all that goodness right there in that skillet, because we're going to use it. Keep letting our potatoes go. But now what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 tablespoons of butter, put it into the skillet. Now I like to use a whisk, so the whisk just kind of breaks things up a little bit. So we're going to let the butter start to melt down. We're going to add in our 2 tablespoons of flour. A roux is always equal parts. 2 and 2, 1 and 1, whatever the case may be, however much you decide you want to make. And so we're just going to kind of whisk this around a little bit, picking up all that goodness from the chicken and the bottom, you know. Just a little bit. Then, instantly, we're just going to go ahead and throw the cream in. Get all that goodness in there. Okay. So you got your cream in. And if this begins to thicken, you want to be careful and turn it down real low. Now, I want a little bit more than that. So what? I want more. So, this is a little trick I learned a long time ago. If you do not have a whole lot of cream, what you can actually do is add some milk to it. You're going to get the same result. One of the things we do, multitask, get people multitask. One of the things you learn to do is adjust. You know, when you're cooking. So, I'm going to add a little bit more, because you want it like a sauce. You don't want it like a thick gravy or anything. So you just kind of whisk it all together. Now my potatoes, see if I can get you to see what I'm doing here. Letting that caramelization build up on those. We got this going in here. Keeping it on the low. And now real quickly what I'm going to do is add some garlic. I love, 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 love garlic and almost some of everything. It just kind of enhances the flavors just amazingly. Instantly, you can smell it. I mean, you just smell it instantly the moment you put it in there. And so we're going to let that go for a little bit. Next, I'm actually going to add little bit of shallot. Now shallot, some people may say, what is a shallot? It's in the onion family. It's a little small onion. It's a sweet onion. Has a very, very good flavor. Doesn't take a whole lot of it. And it just makes things taste a lot better. Some onions can be very, very strong and powerful in flavor, and you don't really want all of that. So now sometimes I may go ahead and add the garlic and the shallot together. In this case, I don't want to do that. I could have. It releases the flavors a lot better, but I'm not being traditional today or anything. I'm just doing this my way. So that's what we're going to do, right? And either you're going to like it or you're not. And now we got our little sauce going. And we're just going to let it go. Now with our potatoes over here, we're just going to take the time and we're going to rough chop it. Nothing's fancy or anything because they're already little. We actually don't even have to chop it, and I don't think I'm going to. I told them I'm not doing anything traditional, so if you say, well, why didn't you chop it, Chef? I didn't feel like it. You pull the stems off. They're very soft stems unless you grab the very middle, and those can be kind of hard. But other than that, the stems are very soft, and once they hit the heat, they get even softer. So you can always, always, always chew it with absolutely no problem at all. I just advise you to go through all your stems and make sure that you don't have any hard stems in there that someone cannot chew. So take that, toss it in. Yeah. Let that go just a little bit. Okay, now get it with a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit. These are pretty much done, guys. And so at the very last moment, what I want to do with the potatoes is I'm going to add about another tablespoon of this good old Irish butter here. Let it melt down. And that's going to be it for the potatoes. We don't want to overcook them. We don't want them breaking apart. We want them to look good for you all. We toss them around in the butter. Turn them off. Okay? Turn them off. These skillets hold amazing heat. I'm going to switch that to the back because this is going to be used for my carrots now. So I'm going to keep that on low. Now my sauce, yes, that's what I'm looking for. The smell's coming out of here is freaking amazing, guys. I kid you not. It is absolutely amazing. So now, what I want to do, mustard. Whole grain mustard. This is probably about a good tablespoon. And toss that right in there. Now you're just going to go ahead and whisk that in. Instantly smell it. And again, you want it to be like a sauce, not a gravy. So if you have to add a little bit more milk, cream, or whatever, you go ahead and you do that. So in the meantime, turn that up a little bit more. Get ready for the carrots. just this one last time. Just a tinge more, because now you're going to put your chicken back into the sauce after you chop up some fresh tarragon. And you don't want to chop it too much. You don't want to bruise it. But make sure your knives are sharp. That's one way you won't mess up everything. And this is about a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half, maybe almost 2 actually. But again, it's a mustard tarragon cream sauce. So if you don't taste the cream, you don't taste the mustard, you don't taste the tarragon, something's wrong. Tarragon is a heat activated herb that you use. Right away, it just always knocks my socks off, man. I believe in tasting everything as I go. Taste for flavors. Good flavor. However, add a pinch of salt. That's all I'm going to add, because everything else has its salt too. And I think this is exactly where I want it to be. So now from here on out, I no longer need my whisk. I'm going to take my chicken breast. I want to add them back into there. They've sat for a moment, and I'll explain to you why I did that in a second. Whenever you cook anything, it is very, very, very important that once that heat hits it and it has a chance to sear through, you want to make sure that you give all of your meat the perfect opportunity to rest. You know, and I say rest because you need to give your meat the opportunity to let all those juices go back to its natural positions, so that your chicken doesn't dry out, so that your steak doesn't dry out, so that your fish and other things do not dry out. So take them off the heat, sit them on a plate. Sometimes you can cover them, sometimes you don't have to. Let them rest for a moment. Very, very important. So now we'll take a little bit, the last little bit of our extra light olive oil. We're going to take our carrots. Yes. Automatically you hear that sizzle. That's what you're looking for. That sizzle. And while that's going, you want to actually just let the chicken kind of just simmer there in that sauce. I mean, it looks good, it smells good, it tastes good. So you need all of those components to work together for you. Now, some people will not do the carrots like this. You know, they may go, and you don't have to. I'm not saying you have to. I like them like that for presentation purposes, but whether you use crinkle cut carrots, smooth cut, round, sticks, whatever you choose, it's totally up to you. It really doesn't matter. I just so happen to like these when I saw them in the store. They just look cool. And we're gonna let them go for just a little bit longer. What I did to help my cooking process with these carrots is so that they don't take so long in that skillet, I went on ahead and I parboiled them. A little bit of salt and just boiled them through. And when they were done, what I ended up doing was hitting them with ice cold water, stopping the cooking process because I didn't want them to continue to cook all the way through for that purpose there. So let them go. Check on your potatoes. Again, they've been sitting there. They're still nice and hot. These skillets hold amazing heat. You see that good? Yeah, looks good. The chicken is simmering. And just let it simmer. Let it simmer. You might want to move your sauce around a little bit. You know, that way getting all over everything. Now, with your carrots, since they're pretty much done, go ahead and hit it with a little butter. Then you can take the exact same, a little bit of now, I'm going to hit this with a little bit of this honey. Now the funny part is, it's a little bit of a little bit of the whole grain mustard on this spoon. That's okay. You know why? Because your chicken dish has a little bit of that in it. That's not enough. You probably won't even taste it in the carrot, so don't worry about it. Okay? So now that that's in there, let's give them a little swish around. A little swish. Just a little bit. You know? See that? Nice and glazed. Adjust your sauce as needed. I mean your flavors. Okay? I always say taste everything. Now I'm going to move this out of the way. I want my plate right here now. Got my thyme sprigs. Tarragon. And actually what I want to do before I do that, just put that back over there real quick. I want to take this and roughly, just a little bit, just a little shot. Okay? Just like that. I'm going to leave this off to the side. Let me put my plate right up here on top of this cutting board. Alright guys, if that's alright with you, don't judge me. I want you to see everything. Your carrots are done. Okay? Carrots look absolutely amazing. They're done. Your chicken is done. Your potatoes are done. So now, all you have to do is the good part. And that's the plating. Alright, so now that we're done, you have a pan-seared chicken breast with a mustard tarragon cream sauce. You have your honey glazed carrots, and you have your potato medley with baby Yukon and baby red potatoes sauteed in an Irish butter with fresh thyme. Bon appetit.